According to Zechariah Sitchin in the Cosmic Code, after the Deluge, when humanity was granted the three regions, the Anunnaki retained for themselves the fourth region, the Sinai Peninsula. There, in the central plain, the ground was both flat and hard. Unlike the mud-buried and water-clogged post-diluvial plain in Mesopotamia. Choosing again the twin peaks of Ararat as the anchor point, Anunnaki drew a landing path at the same 45-degree angle to the geographic parallel, the 30th parallel north. There in the central plain of the Sinai Peninsula, where the diagonal line intersected the 30th parallel, was to be the spaceport. Two more components were required: to establish a new mission control center, and to delineate and anchor the landing corridor. Sitchin believed that the outlining of the landing corridor preceded the choosing of the site for mission control center. Because of the existence of the landing place, in the Cedar Mountains in Lebanon. Every folklore, every legend connected with the place repeats the same assertion, that the place existed before the flood. As soon as the Anunnaki landed back on Earth after the Deluge, on the peaks of Ararat, they had at their disposal a real, functioning landing place, not a full-fledged spaceport, but a place to land on. According to Sitchin, all the Sumerian texts dealing with the grant to mankind of domesticated plants and animals, or genetically altered, describe a biogenetic laborator in the Cedar Mountains, with Enlil cooperating with Enki to restore life on Earth. All the modern scientific evidence corroborates that it was from that particular area that wheat and barley and the first domesticated animals had come. According to Cosmic Code, here again modern advances in genetics join the parade of corroborations. A study published in the journal Science in November 1997 pinpoints the place where wild einkorn wheat was genetically manipulated to create the founder crop of 8 different cereals. Some 11,000 years ago, in that particular corner of the Near East. There was every reason to include this place. A vast stone platform of massive construction in the new space facilities. That, in turn, determined by equidistant concentric circles the location of Mission Control Center. To complete the space facilities, it was necessary to anchor the landing corridor. In its southeastern end, 2 nearby peaks, one of which remained hallowed to this day, as the so-called Mount Moses, were handy. In the equidistant northwestern edge there were no peaks, just a flat plateau. The Anunnaki, not any mortal pharaoh, built there 2 artificial mountains, the 2 great pyramids of Giza. The smaller third pyramid, Sitchin have suggested, in the Stairway to Heaven, was built first as a test-scale model. The layout was completed with a mythological animal carved from the native rock, the Sphinx. It gazes precisely along the 30th parallel eastward toward the spaceport in the Sinai. These were the components of the post-diluvial spaceport of the Anunnaki in the Sinai Peninsula, as built by them circa 10,500 BC. And when the landing and takeoff place in the Sinai's central plain was blown up, the spaceport's auxiliary components remained standing. The Giza pyramids and Sphinx, the landing place in the Cedar Mountains, and Mission Control Center. The landing place, as we know from the Adventures of Gilgamesh, was there circa 2900 BC. Gilgamesh witnessed there the night before he had attempted entry a rocket ship rising. The place remained extant after the Deluge. A Phoenician coin depicted vividly what had stood atop the stone platform. The vast stone platform still exists. The place is called Baalbek, for it was the secret place of the north of the Canaanite god Baal. The Bible knew the place as Beth Shemesh, house or abode of Shamash, the sun god. And it was within the domains of King Solomon. The Greeks after Alexander called the place Heliopolis, meaning, city of Helios, the sun god, and built their temples to Zeus, his sister Aphrodite, and his son Hermes. The Romans after them erected temples to Jupiter, Venus, and Mercury. The temple to Jupiter was the largest temple ever built by the Romans anywhere in the empire. For they believed that the place was the most important oracle place in the world, one that would foretell the fate of Rome and its empire. The remains of the Roman temples still stand top the vast stone platform. So does, undisturbed by the passage of time and the ravages of nature and men, the platform itself. Its flat top rests on layer upon layer of large stone blocks, some weighing hundreds of tons. Of great renown from antiquity is the trilithon, a group of 3 colossal stone blocks, lying side by side and forming a middle course, where the platform had sustained its greatest load impact. Each of these colossal megaliths weighs about 1,100 tons. It is a weight that no modern piece of equipment can even come close to lifting and moving. But who could have done that in antiquity? The local legend says, the giants. They not only placed those stone blocks where they are, they also quarried and shaped and carried them over a distance of almost a mile. That is certain, for the quarry has been found. There, one of the colossal stone blocks protrudes from the mountainside half quarried. A man sitting on it looks like a fly on a block of ice. Down at the southern end of the landing corridor, the Giza pyramids still stand, defying all traditional explanations, challenging Egyptologists to accept that they had been built millennia before the pharaohs and not by any one of them. The Sphinx still gazes precisely eastward along the 30th parallel, keeping to itself its secrets. Perhaps even the secrets of the Book of Thoth. And what about Mission Control Center? That, too, exists. It is a place called Jerusalem. To continue following this and other Anunnaki controversies, come to Anunnaki World. Subscribe to the channel, like, comment and share to expand the Anunnaki world and be part of it.